I'm hiking to a waterfall out here in the Ozarks. I'm not much of a go-to waterfall photographer, but we've had so much rain out here the past couple of days. Just kind of thought I'd come out this way and check it out. And it's looking pretty freaking epic right now. So let's see what we get. It's a pretty amazing hike out here. A lot of bouldering, which is kind of fun. This is my third composition of the waterfall. I hiked to the right of the waterfall just a bit ago. I didn't film it because I couldn't get the two tripods and cameras across the river here. I had kind of bounced on some rocks getting across. Now I'm to the left of the waterfall and just getting different perspectives. I got some foreground to work with here, some interesting foliage and trees mixed in with the waterfall here. Kind of liking the scene. I'm shooting third of a second at f/22. And like I said, I'm not much of like a waterfall seeker, but this is so incredible. So I've got a composition here that I'm pretty happy with. Shooting third of a second f/22. I got these kind of sweeping trees in the foreground. Everything's kind of, monochromatic tone with some green moss on it. And in the background or the midground is the waterfall, and up, got the kind of cave behind it, which I'm kind of liking this scene. This actually could be a keeper, I think. So I'm going to keep on shooting and seeing what we get. I'm photographing a second waterfall here, and I'm kind of struggling to find anything that's not overly obvious. Trying to find something that's a little more, I guess, a little more unique in a way. Yeah, when shooting waterfalls, it's kind of only so much you could do. I feel like I'm just getting the most obvious of obvious photographs right now. I'm currently looking at the waterfall kind of from a side angle, just kind of play around with kind of pushing the waterfall to the left of the frame and kind of focusing more on like the boulders and trees in the landscape mixed with the waterfall. But yeah, struggling a little bit to make something that's I guess in a way unique, but definitely enjoying being here. It's very peaceful, that's for dang sure. I thought I'd take a moment and talk about what gear I'm using. I got some comments last week about what gear I'm working with. So I'm in a little cave overhang and, kind of a perfect spot to take a moment to talk about some the cameras I'm working with here. I'm currently working with for digital, I'm currently working with the Pentax 645Z. It's a medium format digital camera. It's about 50 megapixels or so. It came out in 2014, so in digital terms, it's probably, a bit of an ancient camera. Been out for about 9 years. I've had it for about 5 now, and it's done me really well. It's held up amazing. It's built really heavy. It's a heavy, bulky camera. It has an amazing grip, which I feel like is a big factor with cameras, just the way it feels in your hand. It feels incredible in my hand. The image quality is amazing. It's built really well. It's all weather sealed. I've had this thing in the rain many times, at the ocean with misty ocean spray. It's been totally fine. I was just under that waterfall. My camera got soaked. I'm not worried about it at all. Yeah, I love the image quality from this camera, and it just feels, like I said, just feels so good in your hand. And it's heavy, it's bulky, which I like in a camera. The lens I'm working with is just a fixed 55 millimeter. I've always just worked with like one fixed lens. It's actually the only lens I have for this camera, just this 155. I think in the future I'll probably get something a little bit more versatile, but I only work with this lens for landscape, portrait, lifestyle. I just use this lens. I like to kind of move in and out of the space. How y'all doing? Sorry, I just had a couple hikers come through. So yeah, I just have this one fixed lens, 55 millimeter. I like to, if I'm too far from something, I like to kind of walk to it. I don't like to zoom in, and I tend to not like wide angle lenses. Like I don't really like anything under a 35 millimeter. So a 50, 55 is kind of usually where I stay. But sometimes a wider angle lens would be better. Like when I was under that waterfall, I could have definitely used like a 35 millimeter to really get in that whole scene. But didn't have it, so couldn't get it. But I made do with what I had. But like I said, this camera just feels good in your hand. It's held up really well for a 9-year-old camera. I've had it for about 5. I've shot, I don't know, thousands of images from this camera, and I haven't had a single issue. I don't think they make this anymore. I think Pentax is pretty much done. It's done me well. So we'll pack it up and keep on moving on. How y'all doing? Doing good. This is so relaxing. I am just laying on the rocks, sunbathing, taking a little nap, just waiting for the light to get low. So since this morning's location from the waterfall, I've been driving around for almost 5 hours trying to decide where to hunker down for dusk. I brought my strobes with me today, so the plan is to get a strobe landscape at dusk. So I came back to the location I already know about, and I photographed this location on the 4x5 in natural light, but I wanted to shoot the same scene on the digital with the strobe. So it's 5:40. We have got an hour and a half until sunset. So I'm gonna kind of hunker down here and wait for dusk. And I get my strobe set up. I think I've got a perfect location right here to get the strobe set up and light these trees that are to the left of the camera here, and we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna go ahead and get the light set up now. I'm not gonna shoot for at least an hour or so, but I'm gonna set the lights up and make sure everything's working properly, and hopefully get to work in hour 20 minutes. So let's set this thing up. Got a perfect spot for it. This nice little flat rock here, so my strobe sits nice and perfect on there. So this is what I'm working with as far as lighting goes. It's a ProPhoto B2. It's a power pack. I got my Pocket Wizards and the strobe head there. I think it's about 350 watts, so it's not super powerful, but it does the job, especially out in the landscape like this. Kind of gives it sort of like a natural feel. With the strobe not being super high power. Almost getting there. We're still waiting for the sun to get off the hills in the background. I want everything to be, in one contrast all throughout, and to get a little darker so I can really get the strobe powered up and onto the tree here. So probably another 15 minutes and we'll start shooting. So almost there. The shoot is over. Gonna head out of here. And please, if you could, like and subscribe, whatever you do on YouTube. Hopefully motivate me to keep on going. This is only my 4th video. Enjoying the process so far. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.